And this wasn't this the exact same pick as well after the fact?
Yeah, I think they went Legion first or something, if I recall. But they ended up with this Batrider thing. It was good. No, it was Batrider, Lone Druid, Drow. That was what our strategy ended up being. So Cloud9 they're right on the money.
Okay.
Legion Commander.
Very interesting.
There's our Legion. So.
Team pick.
All right, we're just gonna do the same picks as yesterday. I guess Alliance really liked Cloud9's lineup that Cloud9 lost with, so Cloud9 are gonna go with what Liquid used to beat them. That all makes sense, really.
I mean, if you get beaten by a team with a strategy, there's that inherent desire to just run it against them. So they're gonna take the Lone Druid. Cloud9's like, you know what, Liquid, they're pretty good at Dota. Let's just do what Kuro did.
This is pretty great, actually.
So what was the last one you said? It was the Drow as the last pick?
Yeah, for Cloud9.
Okay.
If Alliance want to go full Cloud9, they would need the Viper. The Mirana's banned, sadly, so we can't have a full recreation of yesterday. There's some serious theory crafting going on between these two teams or something, I guess. But I doubt we'll also get a Viper. Not really a limp hero.
Yeah, he's more on those. I would agree with you as well earlier when you said that Tiny is kind of he's incredibly potent on that hero. To me, it's his signature hero.
Yeah.
And other heroes like that can start moving around the map, make things happen with either an early blink dagger or whatever. Honestly,
I wouldn't mind seeing SF.
I wouldn't mind seeing Legion Commander run on him either, but yeah, SF could be solid as well here too.
Yeah, and in terms of Legion pick too, we did talk about this yesterday, but you guys don't watch every single game of Dota, and that's okay. But Legion's pretty dope here because Starladder, you can remove the Corrosive Haze, you can remove Lasso. Already some pretty excellent stuff going on just from those two interactions alone, and then you can also toss out those overwhelming odds and that massive units approaching your tower if they're trying to do some Warlock shenanigans.
Oh yeah,
pretty handy.
Definitely. I like that. I'm kind of wondering if it's still going to run into the issue that we've seen before of Legion commanders struggling to get that initial blink dagger. The Ember Spirit now coming out. I'm assuming that's the limp hero. Do you think that's something that she needs to be worried about at all, or that Alliance need to try and help out the Legion and lane a bit?
I guess it's going to depend on what the carry is. We'll have to figure out. We might end up with that Lone Druid mid again, where it goes up against the Ember Spirit, or it could be Lone Druid in the safe lane. And then she might have some troubles if it's just a Warlock. And assuming they do the Starladder, Batrider dual offlane, whoever Warlock's paired with down bottom is likely going to be rather obnoxious for Legion. But I don't know if they can get away with sort of a dual lane because you want that tri-lane to try and deal with this Batrider Starladder. So Legion's already kind of destined to have a rockier start, you would think.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if maybe they run the position 4 going up there, a hero that can keep the creep wave off of the tower, and then Legion just goes off into the jungle and does that, Legion thing that we all know and love.
Gotta say that Ember's slipping all the way through there. A little bit surprising. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, would have probably banned out the mid heroes in that second phase instead of that Sand King Mirana, but likely just showing how much pressure they want to put in that top safe lane. Just make sure that kind of stuff doesn't get in their way with the Batrider Starladder. Allow those guys to snowball, have a good time. So their whole game plan doesn't really concern the mid. I mean, if you remember that game yesterday when Liquid ran this exact same draft, GH and Mind Control pretty much decided that whole game in my mind. They just got so farmed in that top lane. The rotations were so much easier because of the gold, the levels. They both had blink daggers at 10 minutes, and it just felt like there was no way Cloud9 in that case could overcome all that mobility. Just taking fight after fight, but get rid of the silencer. Excellent ban. In core role, support role, both ways. Super frustrating when the Batrider can just blink lasso and you have no recourse.
Well, so then I'm kind of wondering if this last pick needs to try and focus on keeping contained the Batrider and Starladder. That I'm assuming Cloud9 are going to run this the same way that they did yesterday, where they were just incredibly aggressive early. So, I mean, it's proven that Shadow Demon and Luna alone can't handle it. What do you like as a bulky laner to help out there?
Now you mentioned that, I'm kind of caught on the fence because something like a support Nyx actually works really well when you have the Shadow Demon, but sadly they don't work too well in against the dual lane. It would be nice against that Batrider though. Yeah. But in terms of your overall lanes, I guess Alliance they're known for their Rubik's and whatnot. That gives you a double 5 or something like that, which is kind of awkward, but at the same time they tend to do a little bit better in lane. I'm not sure what, like maybe a Kunkka too can be nice with your Shadow Demon setup.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's the classic lane, Shadow Demon, Luna, and Kunkka. Oh my god, look at this guy. Tripax is on fire in the morning. He knows what's up.
I got my coffee. I'm good to go. Everything's fine.
That's great. I love it. Actually, I really don't like it. I'm just gonna say that I feel like it's sort of the same problem that you're talking about with the Nyx Assassin, where this hero might end up running into problems against the dual lane if they really get aggressive up there. And I mean, could they even think about sending the Warlock up as well and full on aggro tri-lane it if Lone Druid's safe?
There's definitely potential for it if they just want to go for like a mid lane or something here. Maybe the other way too. Alliance could try and go for like a dire side off lane dodge. That's super their strategy. They ran that for like a full month where they were always aggro tri-laning. Would open up more space towards the Legion commander, and the Dire Shrine would be a lot closer that way, and they'd have more access to it. So I agree. The Shadow Demon Kunkka, it gives you that like one-off combo, just like the Nyx Assassin. Like Kunkka got nerfed. He does a lot less damage with his spells. So up against this like Slardar, Batrider, I don't know if they'd have the finish a lot of the times to fully bring them down. So I could definitely see aggro tri-laning working out well for them.
Well, the last pick, Tinker, so it does look to be a lone druid in the safe lane facing off against what we're assuming is a Legion commander, and then we'll see if either the Warlock or the Slardar decides to come down and try and apply some more pressure. As far as that lane is concerned, the Legion commander versus lone druid, do you feel like it's heavily favored towards one or the other, or is there a certain level timing where it really becomes difficult for one or the other?
I mean, if it ends up being Legion versus Lone Druid 1v1, bless Legion, but no one wants to be 1v1 Lone Druid as a melee. Even Legion, I don't think. You'd probably do okay, but it's not going to be a fun time.
All right. Well,
I don't know if I've ever seen a Baby Knight Tinker.
Yeah.
I know he played it at WSG, but I missed all the games that he played it. I saw it on a couple of match histories, and I was like, what? These guys playing some Tinker now? So I'm kind of excited for that.
Yeah, very curious to see how it ends up going. I pressed the one button. As it looks like there's going to be some wards placed out across the map. No real surprise there. Initial smoke used as well, and Noya trying to figure out where he wants to place his as well. But yeah, we're here. Game number 1. It's Alliance facing off against Cloud9. I was showing the standings a little bit earlier, but currently Alliance is sitting top marks, and Cloud9 ended up trading games 1 apiece yesterday with Horde off the back of kind of a heartbreaker in that last game where they were ahead for so long and ended up kind of throwing it away. So this, to me, feels like it's almost a must-win. Not that Alliance by any means is one of the weaker teams in the group, but if you're going into a group stage with only 2 spots going to the LAN and you end up either losing or tying 2 of your first initial 3 games, it's just not looking good. And they also lost to Liquid.
We get 2 from this region. That's good. Well, I mean, as you're saying about group stages, I saw for the SEA one, Faces went 5-1 on their last day. Didn't even get to go.
Yeah.
That hurts, man. That can really show just like how much you need every single game. They even 2-0'd the TNC on their final day, but it didn't matter just because of the way the groups worked out and everything.
You gotta win. Just win, baby. It's anyway, you guys want an Al Davis reference. But anyways, moving in. Oh man, Rise feeling pretty good in the morning. He's gonna come over and just outside of range. No, he takes a tower shot and isn't gonna get the courier, I don't believe. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to run that down. Really unfortunate there.
A noble effort.
Is this gonna kill up top? Joe is gonna get caught, but they just don't have a lot of damage this early. This previously might have been a kill, but with all the nerfs, no longer.
Yeah, that's all right though. At least he burned himself. It's one little burn away into the regen. So they're gonna stick up top. So in this way, Legion's gonna have a better time. If you go for the aggro try, it's gonna really help out your tri lane, but Legion will be just dead up top with no shrine nearby. Wouldn't even be able to contest the bounty runes. Would have been pretty awful. Instead, Legion can just do these things, bully a little bit in the earlier levels until the root comes up, and then your life is pretty sad. But that little dire, little off lane, it's not too bad. You know, you can get some gold, jungle up some neutrals.
Yeah. We're also seeing over here to the side just a lot of the sticky napalm and pressure being applied by Cloud9. They want to get a good amount out of this lane, and so far it's going okay. They did already burn through the salve of Hestejo.
Also, no sticks yet.
Yeah. It looks like he's going off to pick one up right now. Has enough, and yeah, that's going to be one for Shadow Demon, and Hanskin picks up his as well.
Yeah, these are. Gotta get those bad boys going. Yeah, they've all got sticks now, guys. We're online. Bail. Abandoned lane. Sticks are purchased.
Yeah, that's the
interesting steal. Hestejo. Oh, is he gonna get it? Oh no! Oh, he's out. Get out of here.
He might be in trouble now. They do have a bit more damage that's going to be coming in, and, well, they are going to try and run him down. He should be fine, though, it looks like. Actually going to try and turn onto that a bit. But one of the things that you talked about yesterday's game was that Cloud9 didn't buy a ton of regen in their safe lane, whereas this time you see Alliance pretty heavily invested into, at least with the sticks, 3 of them on the lane, and a decent amount of tangos and a salve still there for Loda. Do you think that they're going to be able to have a better time than Cloud9 did in this lane yesterday?
Yeah, I think they are, and one of the stark differences is the fact that we have a Kunkka instead of the Mirana. You can really impact already. Every disruption has resulted in the torrent, into additional damage, into pushing these guys off the lane. Whereas with the Mirana, they were able to play around that creep wave so well. Like every time they were pulling in here, they would just kind of hide behind the creep wave, make sure the arrows couldn't connect onto them, that there'd be no way, even out of the disruption, that they get a max duration arrow. And so it just wasn't nearly as risky. But with the Kunkka, just being able to set up every single time with the torrent, you don't have that risk of missing the arrow, and that's already giving Alliance a much more successful time than Cloud9 found with a very similar tri-lane.
Yeah. Oh, and
look at Rise at the bottom. Give them love.
This is a bit of a problem. This is a ton of damage coming out from Jonas, already level 4 at this point versus the 2 of Warlock. Trying to dodge through the trees. He's going to need 2 more hits to be able to find this kill, I think. Actually, he's going to need another one beyond this. Should be able to live through one more hit. The Savage Boar going to be able to keep him alive for the moment. And there's going to be first blood. Drone by Jonas. He is going to probably pay a price here as, well, he runs through the trees and actually not going to be able to get out of there. Well, Jonas is going to get away with this. What? Do they have another one? No, he's going to end up going down there.
4. Yeah, so no root yet, but still gets him.
Oh. Well,
now he's almost 5 at least.
Decent plays going both directions. But early laning feels like it's relatively even. Maybe you could say that with that kill, taking a little bit of a lead, Alliance gain more of the offlane.
Yeah, not too shabby. Oh, Ace. He does hit 5, gets his root, but that is one nice thing about Legion Fan. Now you have the kill. You weren't forced out of lane. You're not at a major level disadvantage, so you can just press the attack every time you get rooted. There are some shenanigans you can do as Legend. Oh my god, he's so close to many creeps, though.
Nice kill there. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ace able to take down Jonas. So kills across the map, 3 of them, 1 in each lane. And at the end of the day, Cloud9 comes out a little bit ahead there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that was super scary for Ace. It's like 2 creep waves stacked on top of each other. Gets it in the end. What's up mid? Anyway, pretty quiet. Mid gets his 1 kill there, so that's kind of nice. Look at Skrilla going his way.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I mean, it's kind of been a bit of an action-packed game so far, and Cloud9 with the slight kill advantage is sort of pulling it back towards even. Do you like the way that Baby Knight is going for this, Rocket's laser build? Was this just because he felt like he could catch a kill in mid and was able to find it?
Yeah, I'm sure he was probably just holding it, but I mean, having against Ember makes quite a bit of sense, right? Get yourself as many points in the laser as you can. That pure damage goes right through the flame guard. And you don't have to worry about trying to burst down through it or anything to actually get kills. You can always be threatening, and it makes it a lot harder for Limp to get last hits.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and I think that, I mean, as the game goes on, it probably just becomes a little bit more difficult. It seemed like they're much more willing on the side of Cloud9 to rotate to help out their mid laner, or they're kind of just left Noya now alone in this top lane here, where Batrider's roaming around and trying to find himself a bit of gold through the camp stacking. Do you think that Alliance need to start switching it up and moving these supports around a bit?
I wouldn't mind seeing them go down bottom, just because they're leaving the lone druid alone, which is nice for Legion. The warlock hasn't been there for quite a while, so she's able to just keep manning up against the bear, getting lifesteal back that way, but she's starting to get a little bit low on mana. If they wanted to maybe rotate down there and try and get a kill on the lone druid earlier on, would be nice, but just by sticking up top of Loda, they've now taken down the towers, so... Their current movements have been just fine for them. There's not enough pressure on the Legion Commander that they need to go down bottom. And now with duel on Jonas, we'll probably see them group up for a smoke play. Actually, they're just going to smoke themselves. Jonas doesn't get to come. He's not out of the party. It's too bad.
I think it'd show up when he gets there.
Oh, nice scan.
That's great. Yeah, good recognition. Realizing as soon as the tower goes down, they're going to make that movement in towards the jungle, and Hestijo is going to actually reveal himself there. A good amount of damage is going to come out now. Rocket lasers as well. Noya is there on the EGM, and they might be able to take this kill. Hestijo is going to go down, but they end up taking the Shadow Demon in return, and Noya looking for a bit more, but the better of it is Handskin and the Limp just back out.
All right, well, you'll take that as Alliance. Bat Rider for the Shadow Demon.
Oh, and this movement again, I'm kind of wondering at what point do you start thinking about trying to go and contest Loda. He's already got 50 last hits in 7.5 minutes. He has been farming up a storm here, and it is a hero that can get out of control if left alone.
Oh, mid lane.
Yeah, Baby Knight. They've got the X there. Lip trying to get the runaway, and they won't get him.
Ooh, that's nice TB too. Yeah, so speaking of contesting Loda, not gonna be too easy now. I'm not sure. They don't really have the best way to initiate on top of Loda. Now the Eclipse comes out.
Alright, Hestijo's just gone, and now Loda is really going to start to snowball out of control. He's already 700 gold ahead of the Lone Druid, and Helm of the Dominator online. I mean, he's got 7 sick charges, so even if a gank comes, it's not going to be easy. You know, Noya is going to come and try and steal out the bounty rune, already taken away, and they should be able to find this kill. Handskin just out of range currently of that X marks the spot, and Noya actually gets away with that one. He's able to run out of there.
A little bit sketchy there. I believe Noya knows there's an Invis Kunkka. It seemed to me they were very close to each other when he picked up the rune, but I guess we'll find out here. The way Ace is playing, perhaps that's not a major concern to them right now. Ooh, they're going to bring down the bots. Baby Knight onto the bear.
That's a good timing for those for him, and it looks like they might realize Handskin's in the area. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate for Handskin. A quick little TP away, but not going to happen, and Ace just ends up finding the kill.
Alright, nicely done. That's, again, slowing down this Legion Commander by getting that kill on the Kunkka. Shadow Demon was here now. They were going to do their little setup into duel, I'm sure, and try and get some damage on this Legion. Although, maybe that little aspect of their lineup isn't going the best right now. The fact that Loda has fully pushed out that lane, is farming the jungle completely alone, no contest coming in from the side of Cloud9 thanks to the pressure that they are putting on from Alliance. Still consider things to be going pretty damn well. I mean, despite not having dual damage, Jonas is still second highest on the team.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe that says something about how the Embers game has gone as well, which could be a bit of a problem, but, you know, he's building back towards that Veil now, has the double Moltally, and should have some more relatively soon. As the smoke up by the Shrine, they really want to get this dual damage going, and it's like their eyes are set on the Warlock, but Rise already backing out? Maybe they can find Baby Knight? No, he's gone too. They're playing this really safe. And it doesn't look like Cloud9 are going to get caught by it. They had right underneath that ward.
Yeah.
Haste.
Easy game. Again, though, pressure still coming in. I mean, bottom lane, that's a nice TP. So yeah, they'll get the tower at the same time. So nice full rotation. Oh no.
I don't know if they can do this though. Oh, and now maybe overextending slightly. Hesjo's here as well. He is going to be able to get the lasso pull back. Jonas in some trouble and should end up going down here. Ace is also going to try and chase down Handskin. We'll keep our eyes on see if they can find the root. Jonas is gone, and they do get the root as well onto the Kunkka. Nicely played, and now immediately into mid. Cloud9 are looking very strong right here.
Got a nice little window there. Perhaps a slight overextension. Decently deep dive coming out for Alliance. And they can quickly turn that around. It's a weird lone druid, but it's still lone druid. May not be the same as the old one, but he still hits towers pretty hard. Especially early on in the game when that bear is still relevant without items.
And yeah, I'm thinking also now that this, strong start that they've got, it's starting to feel like that lone druid is going to become a bigger and bigger problem. Humble the Dominator online and should be able to take some fights. Meanwhile, Hestijo runs into Limp in the jungle, and I don't know. Did everything just crash for you? What the heck was that?
Nope, all good. I've had
Okay.
some pretty weird spectator crashes this patch though, so.
I didn't crash out, but everything stopped for like a second. That was scary. Oh my god. Alright. We're back. So Limp just running it away, I'm assuming? I didn't see for a second.
I'll give you a yes, but I don't actually know. I wasn't watching Limp.
Okay,
So
no problem. So, next couple of minutes here, Alliance, it feels like maybe they're being hurt a little bit in terms of the way the game flow is going. Do you think that they're comfortable with it given how well Loda's done, or do they need to try and use that advantage that he has to start being a part of fights?
I think as long as Limp is joining up probably with Loda and Jonas, they can do some sort of a 5-man group up. Just try and accelerate Limp with this Veil. It's likely the most important thing for them right now. Jonas also down there right next to Limp, but getting into something like this Blade Mail first seems to be the build. Nice against Tinker, uncontrollable damage. Or if you can just man up against Lone Druid, get those right clicks firing back into his somewhat low HP god, 1380. Alright, it's not low at all. Range Lone Druid is just as frustrating, it turns out, with Spine Ogre Club at 13 minutes.
Yeah,
this
that's
will be probably the same build. Oh,
pull back in. They caught on to Jonas. The crush is there as well. He is going to go down, and Limp not going to get caught out, but it is looking like Cloud9 are just everywhere across the map. It is still looking like Alliance has maybe gained a bit more out of the map, but the kills are going into the favor of Cloud9.
yeah, it's likely to continue that way. Just 3 points laser, 4 rockets, like Baby Knight. He's at that perfect moment to take it right now, where he is enough, just 2 points march is fine, clear waves, make sure he's holding onto his towers, and he just TPs onto this bear and just nukes the hell out of people. The thing that's kind of cool about this new change to Lone Druid as well, with the way it's going to work with this Tinker, is before Lone Druid used to be so chill, right? You just waited till he bought Radiance, and you pick these heroes like Queen of Pain to make all this space for Lone Druid while he farmed up items and got to this point where he was ready to join fights and do something other than just pressure side lanes and hit creeps. But now it's 14 minutes into the game, you got this Helm, you've got your Dragonlance now actually finished up here as well, as Ace will start building into the Maelstrom, and he's ready to fight. So you get that added benefit of this TPing onto the Tinker into the bear and everything that we will sometimes see, but not until 20-some minutes with the Radiance online.
Yeah.
All those spells from Tinker just so much more useful earlier on in the game.
Well, and you've also got the Helm of the Dominator creep now with them as well, this Alpha Wolf, so everybody's hitting harder.
Yeah, that's cool.
All in all, that's a really neat build.
I think yesterday he went for ring into the drums, or rather ring into the lance when it was Matama Man playing, so it's interesting to see Ace go for the Helm, but makes a lot of sense. Certainly working out here. He annihilates this tower.
Tier 2 is going to be traded off, it looks like. I don't expect right now Cloud9 to come down and test. I guess with the creep wave forward, they could potentially, but well, looks like they're just going to head off into the Roche pit. That'd be a pretty nice pickup if they can manage to snag this one away, and they certainly have enough damage to do it.
And they're under vision from the dire side, and they should get here in time. They have smoke. They do. All right. Alliance, game time.
All right, big plays. You have 2 points right now in Eclipse, and Roche Pit's certainly a good place to find it. And
we do have Warlock
fight.
ulti though. That's pretty scary. Haven't seen it drop this game.
It doesn't look like they're going to get here in time. Well, maybe Handskin if he throws out a taunt, but they're not feeling comfortable with it. Hestijo is there, able to jump forward, find EGM, immediately taken off with the X marks the spot. Nice play right there as well. Hestijo is going to go down. Both drops on top of the bear. Noya able to avoid it for the moment. No blink dagger yet. I think that they just call it quits for this and finish up those blinks.
That was interesting. They sent Loda up top before keeping their smoke near mid. That's exactly what they were hoping would happen. Just baiting out their Shadow Demon, waiting there with the press the attack. So very nicely played by Alliance. I have to say, a riskier one though. If the entirety of Cloud9, maybe that Warlock was a little bit closer than you could tell. I guess they could see him probably in the backlogs. They're still in that ward, and that made them feel secure enough in that play. Oh, nice. Speaking of Warlock. Dual damage achieved.
Yeah, Warlock, you don't want to be there right now. That's not the place that you live currently. So he just walks uphill, gets found out. Handskin also is going to have eyes on Ace. Suddenly, Cloud9 in a little bit of a scary spot. Although they are going to be sending in the bear. Looks like they want to take this. Noya does have Blink, but going to go for it. A little bit of restraint at this stage. Oh my god. Good limp. He just takes so much damage from that Tinker.
Yeah, all he can do is throw some bolas on this bear and keep him off the tower for a bit. Won't even end up mattering. Yeah, far away Ace hits this. This is hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The range is quite large for him. So tower in tier 2 is going to go down, and not a great way to stop it.
Oh, did he get that kill? No, he didn't, did he? Almost got the 300 gold. I have to say, the first couple of games of this new Lone Druid, quite a few people were feeding away their bears, but they're starting to get a little bit better at it.
Press the attack off for Handskin. He's not going to get caught there, and meanwhile they are going to jump back and away so they don't get caught out by Jonas. Overall, just very crisp, clean play coming out from Cloud9 currently. And, you know, Loda, who was ahead before, now he's fallen behind the Lone Druid based off of all these towers they've been able to take. Only one tier 2 remaining.
Yeah, Jonas, he's got friends coming, but can't find a pick or anything there. Ooh, they're gonna go for some sort of a group up here. I guess maybe hoping Baby Knight just won't be here in time. But we do have that Aegis on Ace, so scary times.
I mean, to me, this is really starting to feel like the Alliance are losing control of their ability to fight him. And if they can jump off and pick off Ace, this would be really huge. If they're going to try and go for it, the Savage Lord keeping away the Luna and going to true form. Is he going to be able to make it? Aegis is down, but now the rest of the team is here. There is the boat with the rock drop on top of him as well. Loda needs to go for the Eclipse here, but is it going to be enough damage? Noya just walking away. Does end up getting hit by the Lucid Beam, but Loda is going to drop Estrogen in the meanwhile, trying to run away. Handskin actually cancels his TP right there as Emerald Spirit went back in. 3 are down right now for Cloud9. Looks like they are going to be able to take another kill against Alliance. Handskin is wanting to help out his buddy, but with his TP already canceled, he should just be dead now. Yeah, they found him.
Well, that's still a win for Alliance. You take down the Aegis, you fight them outside, and you still trade away 4 for 3. A-okay in my books. The longer they can drag this out and stop this bear from annihilating all their objectives, the better it's going to be for them. I can definitely see Limp turning this game around if he can get into something close to scary. You know, a couple more items, get into that Maelstrom, probably going to need a Blink Dagger next. But they don't have the best catch for him. It's really just Noya.
EGM, he is going to be controlled here and brought down very rapidly. Nice, quick, and easy kill.
Yeah, this is going to be the shrines too now.
Well, Trent, I mean, it's tier 2's down, it's shrines soon to be down as well. It's starting to feel like this game is really completely falling out of control. Baby Knight is going to get caught here with Ember Spirit right on top of him. This should be a kill. Doesn't get the dual damage. That's a lot of gold going to Jonas.
It's a nice snag. Tough to get to when your tier 2's being pressured down bottom, but they knew they weren't going to get it, so they were just trying to set up for top, and it works out, and that'll give Limp right up in towards that Blink Dagger. And this really helps out their high ground defense. I don't know if they'll be able to defend their last shrine, or if they'll even end up committing to it. Could be a nice spot for them to fight if they can get some wards up, and maybe try and use that for another one of these fights kind of outside the base. Even if it means just throwing the bodies of your Kunkka and Shadow Demon and even Legion Commander, if it allows the Ember and the Luna to get a little bit more gold, it'll end up being worth it for you. Again, this combo up top. Quick mobility and instant burst. This time they actually do get the damage.
Well, it's one of those combos that just they are able to get on top of you so quickly, and with Limp always there pretty much. I mean, if you're near a creep wave, you're going to be in trouble and able to get taken down. Bottom lane, it looks like they're keeping Loda close at hand. They want to make sure that he doesn't get taken down. He's sort of there.
Look at these lanes right now.
Yeah.
This is very, very impressive from Alliance. I mean, this comes back to the fact that they were just able to bring down Baby Knight once. And you can see how much they can start outputting just between the heroes they have on the side of Alliance, so Cloud9 maybe starting to think things like, all right, guys, let's just group up, finish off this shrine, let's get some wards in their jungle, you know, just control up 2 of these lanes, start closing this one out here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also a situation where if they do all push down a lane, like, Alliance have to respond. Granted, there is some threat of, you know, being split push or whatever, but they can't afford to not have Loda in the fight, and he is the only one that's really good at taking towers. So, like, if he TPs back a little bit too late or whatever, it's just a really hard game for them at this point. So.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to close it in, too. So now make their way over to that shrine. Lanes in mid and top are in a decent spot. Bottom, now they'll return and keep pressuring.
Yeah. In the meantime, we haven't really seen a whole lot else as far as big item pickups on either side. It's going to be, it looks like, for Lone Druid, a Lincoln Sphere next. He's only about 600 gold away from completing that one. Are there any talents in this game that we should really keep our eyes out for? Obviously, the Lone Druid damage one is already sort of inherent with the hero, but anything else you're seeing?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
Nothing too wild.
Yeah. It's kind of an awkward spot as well. Like, the game goes on. I don't know if Luna SD really falls off necessarily, but does sort of, I don't know, not lose its potency, but there's a really strong timing that it hits, which I feel like they're kind of losing that moment.
Yeah, that's not wrong, that's for sure. If we ever get into like an Aghanim Scepter for the Tinker too, which is more than likely to happen before Alliance would ever be any sort of like a sieging position, then that whole idea of just this LD, or rather Luna SD illusions coming up to your high ground, they get obliterated by that Tinker laser with the Aghanim Scepter. So the turnaround does come. It's still going to be a very uphill battle for Alliance.
I love this play by Hansky. This is like my favorite thing to do as Kunkka. It's just go into a lane, throw out the boat, throw out the torrent, kill the creep wave. Like, it's so useful because now you've got this creep wave that's pushed up against the tier 3 tower. They have to keep Hansky to respond.
You can get the bolas on.
Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, that's the change, that's the catch, that's the kill. And didn't wait for Jonas to be able to pop on in there for the duel, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was nice. Just closing the gap, make sure the blink couldn't happen. And at that point, once you're on top of him, just wait until he actually goes for the TP and allow Jonas to close the gap. So head his back up just in case, but.
Yeah.
Oh, to your point about that whole Kunkka thing too. That's gotta be one of the most satisfying things in Dota right now. Like when you're playing that position 5 or 4 support hero, you know, maybe you got a Kunkka, you got to keep her the light, and you're just zigzagging these tree lines, keeping this what seems to be a dead game alive by just killing like 1 or 2 extra creep waves. Mission impossible, dude. I'm just like Tom Cruise in these trees. Every time I see one, like an enemy just like float by on the map, and they're so freaking close to on the side of the trees, just like.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, totally. And it's also great just in the context of the game. He's going to be able to get a Guardian Greaves off the back of things like that. He just hangs out down here, and that's quite a significant item for being able to farm it up on your position 4. A big smoke play is now moving into the jungle. I don't think that they're going to catch anybody. Jonas is up top, and I mean, they're just kind of being split around the map. This is sort of the classic Alliance, and they're going to actually go in and try and take down Roche. They've had enough of it.
Yeah, they really have.
And then,
this is their okay. Like, guys, we got to get a grip here. We're going to get Roche. We're going to push our lane to the river. And we're going high ground. Like, I'm tired of this non-stop pick-off from Legion and Ember. You can see it doing work, though. They had about a 4K lead on the side of C9, and it's whittling on down. It's only about 2K right now.
Yeah.
Show me the insanity, Ace. I want to see this busted-ass build. Give me that Mjolnir.
So one thing also to keep in mind about this is, you know, he's going to have that completed pretty soon, is Loader just picked up a BKB. So a lot of the damage coming out now from that Tinker, his ability to burst down Loda is going to be pretty diminished. They still have Warlock ulti to be able to control up, and that's going to be a huge part of these fights. But, you know, if that Warlock ulti isn't on point, doesn't happen to land on the Luna, suddenly things look a little bit scary for the fight.
Yeah, it looks like C9 are content to just get these last couple items. Really want the Mjolnir on Ace, and they really want the Aghanims. Jonas. Oh, is he going down?
What?
Oh, they can't see each other.
All right, he should be able to see him now. They walk in. Noya, oh, there's the crush. That's really unfortunate. Waiting for the blade. No, but he's gone. All right, that's a pretty big pickoff. I do like this movement by Alliance, though. They're all going to head down bottom and try and pressure the bottom tier 3 tower. They can kill Tinker, but this is probably a good play by Tinker. He's just going to be able to clear out the creep wave, and suddenly there's no more pressure that can really come.
Yeah, not a major concern. There will be more illusions, though. Mid lane, though. Tinker's back. Time to hit some buildings.
Looking at it, the jump forward, 2 people caught with the chains. Nice little play there. Bottom lane is being pressured, and actually they're going to send back the Tinker, so he will be out of the fight for a moment. He's still caught again by those chains, and the barracks are falling. They have to have Loda here to be able to deal with this pressure. He is going to TP back right now, so the rest of the team is going to start to group up and try and deal with this. Demonic Purge down onto the bear. He does have a resummon, as well as the Aegis.
Okay, one bear down. Aghanim Scepter is now up on Baby Knight, though.
Oh.
This would be a rather rude surprise.
And they're going for the smoke play as well. Batrider, Hestejo, he wants this initiation.
Yeah, Noya, Hestejo, either of them could kind of like set this game right to the end and just try and set up for Rise in this ultimate.
Alright. Big plays coming up. If Limp Jet's too far forward, they can get him. There's the crush onto one. The Aghanim Scepter comes out. A pretty nice imprisonment is going to keep that guy alive. Loda taken off again, and he's going to be able to walk away from that Tony lasso. That is going to be the Aegis down. So a little bit of a sloppy initiation by Cloud9, or rather just good play by Alliance, keeping their cores alive. And now they're sort of forced to back off. Suddenly, Alliance, they're in high ground hold. It's effective.
Yeah, this is very interesting to watch. I mean, we're still all learning about this whole Lone Druid thing, but this was the first time we've seen, at least for me, I've seen something like a defensive item come out before the Mjolnir. Typically, it goes right from Dragonlance, Maelstrom into that Mjolnir. You don't tend to see much else. And then usually even the Hurricane Pike. But going for that Lincoln's, just too worried about the pickoffs that were happening to everyone else on the team, wanting to help group up, just knowing that you'd want it until the end of the game anyway, because it's a nice game for it against Kunkka, SD, as well as the Legion. But that did cause them to take a little bit longer to actually get into these buildings, maybe less damage just overall, and they're pushing these waves out too. And Alliance really capitalizing on that this game.
Yeah. And, you know, now they're free to leave their base. You've got a pretty stacked up Limp who's going to be gaining back into a Lincoln's of his own. And they're getting pretty large and in charge here. You need to be concerned. I think the other thing to note is that, you know, that they have a gem on Alliance. They've been able to shut down the Vision in much the same way that we've seen Cloud9 shut down their own. So they should be able to take out these other couple of wards here, I would imagine, if EGM happens to pass by it. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with the illusions getting the true sight from Gem anymore, but still something to keep our eyes on.
Interesting that Limp's going for the Lincolns. I feel like this is a really tough itemization call for him. Just trying to figure out, like, I'm being saved by my Kunkka when we're defending high ground, so do I need more damage to try and control this bear? Or, like, are we currently doing enough? It does seem like for now that it's enough damage, but I don't know. The only thing is, once you leave the high ground, he'll need this Lincolns anyway, just to be moving around the map, so it's certainly understandable. I think it's a good choice by him. Interesting if they run into a point where he can't quite do enough, though, as he has the long road to the Octarine core.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that you're going to have a couple other items up that help deal with this. I mean, we already talked about the Aghanims on Tinker, so you're going to be able to break that Lincoln's. I guess that doesn't really matter. You would have been able to anyways. But then you have to sort of combo it together with the Batrider effectively. So it's not like there's no way for them to deal with it. Meanwhile, the movement up here towards the top side, I don't know if they're going to run into Jonas. There's a lot of Alliance heroes in the area, and they're all going to TP out.
Alright, the split push continues. Alliance doing very well.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about this lone druid talent for the -50 respawn time as opposed to the spirit bear? Like, it's something that I haven't heard talked about a ton.
Oh, dude, there's no way you don't get. If someone in your game doesn't get the 50 respawn, I fully allow you to report them, and no one's allowed to be mad at you for it. I mean, come on, 7 armor versus -50 respawn? It's a joke.
No, it is.
Bear
really
is nothing but fodder. 50 seconds. Ice Frog trying to throw a bone to off-lane lone druid, and look what he created.
Yeah. Well, he threw it to the all lone druid. I mean, that's a pretty great one, and it's created a monster now in this new lone druid sniper build that we've got. That being said, you know, the last time they pushed it up, they had to have the full Aegis on top of Cloud9, and they only managed to get the tier 3 tower. Alliance has always been known as a strong late game team. I mean, they hit strong timings, but then they also go for like the late game, you know, split push strategies. Is this something that Cloud9 need to be pretty concerned about here?
Well, at the same time, I mean, they now have the Cloud9 moniker, so I assume just once, you know, they got under the organization, something came in the mail, it taught you all about when and when not to buy rapiers, and then just do the opposite, those kind of things. So surely they're fully versed in anything that happens after D minutes.
Okay, I like it. And, you know, given that that's the case, we might end up going fairly late on this one. We'll see. It's a Tinker game after all, as well as the Ember Spear. I mean, there's tons of wave push. There are 2 strong tower hitters, I would say, in the Lone Druid and in the Luna. Mobility-wise, like, bots need to come out as well, I'm assuming, for the Luna eventually. Do you see Lone Druid picking that up in the later stages as well?
I mean, once we eventually get there, I'm sure, but like, I mean, things like this butterfly are just so important right now. I do want to say I'm a big fan of the Aghanims Batrider, super fun item. So pretty excited to see this happen. See if Hetsjo can make any sick plays. Risky though. Didn't opt for a BKB. Yeah, you can get caught out by like Purge or just from the Legion Commander too. So maybe something like a Lincoln's could also be tempting, but. The fact that they have, I guess, the Kunkka and the Shadow Demon just means that getting something like a BKB or a Lincoln's for yourself, so you can initiate, still doesn't do enough, because whoever your target is just, you know, they're going to get saved by someone else one way or another. So by going for the Aghanim Scepter, you're just like, all right, I'll just grab 2 people. Yeah. You know, and then maybe I can get the Saver and the initial target.
Well, so that's the question, too. Let's say that Legion Commander Purge is one of them. Oh,
God, it looks hilarious, dude. Yeah, it attaches you to the first target.
Okay.
So if let's say our Shadow Demon gets lassoed and it grabs our Luna, and then you purge the Shadow Demon can walk around and drag the Luna.
Okay.
Pretty great. Yeah.
That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah, so EGM will just be like, come with me, escape.
That's great. I like that. Well, you're going to end up seeing the top lane pressured in now, and unfortunately, for Cloud9 possibly, Alliance is already over near the pit, so there's a strong chance that this fight could end up turning south for Cloud9. Yeah, they're all going to head the heck out of there. But this does open the way for Roshan. We had the Rumble train going on with the Alpha Wolf and the Ogre Frost Mage, who are about to both see Roche respawn, so...
Oh, yes. It's gotta be the best part of this patch. This Royal Rumble pit in the middle of the river. Currently, Dire is losing. I mean, this is just pathetic. Oh, there we go. Get the armor on. Turn it around.
Bite me.
Oh, this is the comeback right here. There's no way you lose this now. He's not even taking damage. He's taking like 30 hit. Oh, God. No. Why is that with all these cheaters, dude? I thought there was like a mutual respect going here.
Definitely not. There's no respect in Dota. None at all. Not even between these 2 European squads. But movement in, Roche got the amp damage on top of him, and this feels like it's going to be one of those game-defining moments, how the next couple of minutes go out. It's worth noting Luna did finish off the butterfly, so no MKB as of yet on the Lone Druid. This might give Alliance the edge they need to sort of take an advantage in this game.
Yeah, this is a great little window for them. Roche being up makes it all the sweeter. Still super scary to head into that pit. They have fantastic Roshan heroes on the side of Cloud9. They've got Tinker, Batrider, and Warlock. So if you're Alliance, you've got to be imagining you'd love to go for some sort of smoke and a pick, try and get a duel off before you really want to go into that hotbed of death. And all the meanwhile, while they're kind of posturing here, trying to figure out how they're going to attack this, sending illusions one after another, much faster on the split push. Oh, Noya not able to get the distance.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. Baby Knight, he went into the trees, didn't realize that Ember was going to be there, and started to march the machines a little early. So Starladder felt like he had to pressure it really quickly, and ended up just hopping a little bit too early.
This will do nicely.
Well, you know, one thing we haven't really seen this game, I don't think at all. We had one of the rocks drop from Warlock, but beyond that, there really hasn't been any big team fights, so we haven't seen the power of that Fatal Bonds. How effective do you think that's going to be against this Alliance squad? I mean, Tinker Fatal Bond sounds terrifying.
Oh yeah, it's still god tier for sure. It is kind of crazy that we haven't really seen that that Warlock aspect at all, though. Kind of harkens back to what Alliance were doing well the other day.
Estajo, force-staffed away, and, well, he might get caught out and killed, and they're going to be able to find a kill. Limp went deep for this one, and Noya misses the crush as well, so a little bit of a failure of execution there. Rise manages to get off his ulti, but no Fatal Bonds on top of it. The boat comes in, Noya able to blink away at last second. Nicely played there as well. Tinker on the other side is trying to see if he can do any bit of damage, but it looks like Cloud9 might be able to bring down Limp before he's able to group up the rest of the team. Now he's going to be out of there. So 2 dead for Cloud9, no buyback on the Batrider. Alliance with a path to Roshan.
It does seem like they'll get this. 15 more seconds till Batrider's back up. He has the shrine though, so the moment he's alive, he can be in there. They have the MKB finished up. It means no buyback here for Ace. Disastrous were to happen.
Noya's thinking about going in for this.
They just don't have the damage, like the magic core of Limp, not able to put it out.
I mean, well, it looks like Alliance are going to back out. Yeah, everybody's going to be back up, so not feeling comfortable walking in. That was Warlock ulti used, so, I mean, they still have Eclipse. I feel like they can take this fight.
It's just they don't really kill Roche well at all.
No.
Like Loda does, but then you're sitting Loda in that pit. You know Lasso's still up, so you have to be worried about that. He has the Aghanim Scepter on the Batrider too, so they can easily grab 2 of your heroes if you're in there trying to tank it up and fight Roche.
Yeah.
Plus, the way they've clawed this back, like they really can't afford to make a single mistake on Alliance. And we know that Lone Druid will just eviscerate a set of racks so quickly.
Yeah, that's fair. If anybody would know that, it's certainly the Alliance guys.
They also
had
have
a Lone Druid player
no
once.
buyback on Loda or Limp, so very scary.
Yeah, also the Tinker just bought out for his sheep stick as well, so no buyback on him either. This is ending on a knife's edge this game. But neither team really wanted to take the step. They both have great initiation, and we'll see how the next couple of minutes end up going.
I think Alliance are showing that Kunkka might see a lot more play now with this Ember Spirit now coming back into this like magic core build. Just the way that he already is so flexible and movable around the map, adding that on with the Kunkka, similar to how you do it with the Tinker too, might help him make a comeback.
I'll jump in, chains down, they get the crush a little bit off the mark though, and Ace is already brought down. Man, that was a ton of damage coming out. Estajo also left alone, and they take down the Starladder. Limp is a monster right now, and should be able to find a 3rd kill. Cloud9 were not at all prepared. And
I don't know, that was kind of strange positioning. I thought it was a bait, and they were, because just the way he was sitting there, but I guess they thought Alliance had given up and moved out of the current position they were in or something. Not the case.
It wouldn't be a Cloud9 game if the graph didn't look like this, but maybe now they can try and find a pick-off on the Limp. They have the sheep stick available, it's already gone. Yeah, and now moving in towards Roshan. It's going to go down in just a second. No way for Cloud9 to get here quickly enough, or a way to take the fight after the fact. So, Oda with Aegis on him. I mean, Trent, how do you deal with this at this point? Is there any great way that Cloud9 have to find kills and actually like defend their racks when this push comes?
Yeah, I think we still haven't seen C9 on the back foot, really. At least Alliance has never aggressively postured, other than that one last fight we just saw. That was the first time where they've really done this like full team initiation, team fight, but they've never even approached an objective. I mean, we're still rocking 2 of these tier 2s, hence why Cloud9's been able to use these shrines when they were trying to control up Roche. So there is still the point where you're trying to push into Batrider, you're trying to push into a Warlock, and you're trying to push into Tinker, Starladder. Like, they have great jump, great combinations that they can also achieve here. So I'm not, you know, too worried for Cloud9 just yet. Although the graph slipping back over to the side of Alliance is rather concerning.
Yeah, no doubt. Looks like we also are going to be seeing a Satanic online pretty soon as well for Luna, assuming. That's what she's eventually going to be going back for.
Oh yeah.
We got lanes pushed out, but the pressure is going to start to come from Alliance, and this is a hell of a lot of damage online. We do have the MKB on Lone Druid, so they have some answers. Well, and this is the other great part about it. The X marks the spot with Ember Spirit. You can just keep these lanes pushed out, and there's no real cost to their push. They're so much more mobile than Cloud9.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to try and set up for any of these tier 2s either. Much safer to go for the base defense, but this doesn't mean you sacrifice your shrines. So Alliance fully clawing their way back. Even Stevens at this point.
Now. And we'll see what Cloud9 end up going for. It looks like Starladder has a smoke queued up. Unfortunately, with the new shop, you can't see how many smokes they have, but it's fine.
I like
also,
the Shadow Blade, though.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. As Alliance try and close out this game, that's when they're going to end up being more split than they have been this entire time, and Noy with the Shadow Blade might be able to help capitalize on that with Hesta Joe and his lassos.
Man. This is feeling like it's definitely taken a strong tilt back into their favor. 2,500 lead for them currently, and right around almost 15,000 experience. So we've got level 25 talents that are going to be coming up shortly. The Savage Bear or Savage Roar cooldown's pretty decent. I don't know, I'm not really seeing a ton of other things that are super relevant. I mean, do you think that like some of the supports are going to be gained to those level 25s, or do you think that it's kind of a position where the game could end at any moment?
Well, I think for now the big one's definitely going to be Limp. I like his build. He had that Octarine core queued up when he was level 18, and I was a little like, I was surprised, because typically you end up seeing the Maelstrom earlier on, and he did end up going back for like the full Maelstrom into the Mjolnir and everything. So at this point now, it makes a lot more sense getting it later on in the game when you're working now with the Lincoln Sphere, even just the Mjolnir cooldown active going, your Veil, and then of course the big one, once you can sync that up at level 25 and have the +2 second searing chains, as he now gets that. And we'll be able to see a little bit of it in action in the next fight, but not quite as disastrous without the Octarine core for the Radiant.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a classic build, with the exception, as you mentioned earlier, that Lincoln Sphere picked up early on, and it's going to be doing a ton of damage. See how it ends up working out for him. Again, going to push out these side lanes and heal back up as well. But I'm waiting to see the sheep stick. I know that it's been revealed at this point, but I don't know if we've actually seen it put to use. It does feel like something that's quite strong.
Does not happen here. Jeez, I tell you, Loda is going to be terrifying when he comes back up to this Aegis. He'll have BKB and Satanic. They have about 40 seconds left on this Aegis, and see if they feel the pressure to burn it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they even are going to. They've been playing this game so carefully before. They're just respecting the push that lone druid capable of putting out.
Sometimes you just gotta be happy. Like, they did so much with this Aegis. They already got 2 tier 2s, cleaned up both shrines, have asserted complete map control. But you still have this, like, I think everyone feels it when they play Dota. You just have this, like, okay, we need to use this Aegis. Like, you know, it didn't die, guys. It was useless.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the start of it, Loda. Well, press the attack. Going to be able to keep him alive for the moment. Also going to be able to prison all the defensive spells in the world used. And that was the Aegis expiring, too. That would have been a nice little time to kill him right before that happened. Or right as it happened.
That could help swing this one back around in their favor for sure.
mean, Lone Druid is still incredibly stacked right now, and he is right up there with Loda in terms of his net worth. But we'll see how it ends up going. Scotty not yet bought for him. Probably is going to have to save for buyback as well on top. You can't afford to go down at this point, even with the -50 respawn time.
Yeah. Sure is tempting, though.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think he's going to buy out. He's buying out. He's like, I've got -50 seconds. It's fine. Give me that, Scotty. Got to make use of that talent, right?
Absolutely. If you're not using the talents and dying, then, you know, you're not getting the full value out of it.
Man, what the hero. -10 seconds Savage Roar cooldown.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Well, and particularly as a way, if he's able to get into those backlines, some of those defensive heroes, to pull them away from Loda as he's getting, you know, Tinker spammed with the sheep stick.
Yeah, that would be great if you get that bear in the back line somehow.
Definitely would be tough, but
Gotta get a blink on the bear. The blink roar bear. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Druid range spammers out there.
That's the play, everybody. Right in your pubs.
Report back.
First item blink.
Rushing it in lane. No, I got this blink.
Don't worry,
about
guys.
it. It's amazing.
And speaking of blinks, Kunkka does have one as well, so the mobility is coming in spades.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he can outblink the lone druid bear now. What a waste.
I mean, the cool thing about this is oftentimes you want to be able to get your boat in that perfect positioning where it's not so much, particularly in the late game, about the damage at all. It's all about that rumba. So, you know, being able to make sure that you catch everybody in it, even if the fight's getting a little bit chaotic, positioning matters a lot.
Jonas opting in towards the refresher.
Oh.
Pretty exciting late game Legion choice here. Speaking of late game Legion, that final talent, you know, there's a classic. I assume he'll go for the cooldown reduction. It's just too good, especially if he's buying a refresher.
Really?
Yeah,
You don't
I don't
like
think
the
he'd go for
duel?
the duel. I think the duel's pretty bad, to be honest.
I guess at this point he could almost double his duel damage with one duel. So actually, he can more than double it because it's plus 40. So that's a lot of duel damage. But you're not a believer?
No, I don't think so. I mean, look
Alright.
at your other items, dude. I mean, you have a BKB, you'll possibly have a refresher by then. All your spells, all of that affected by 25% cooldown reduction.
Wait, we're gonna have to hold that thought. Oh, nice blink away there. Shadow Demon realizes what's going on. They have the immediate jump forward and skin completely on his own, but he's gonna be able to get up the X marks the spot, and Yoda's trying to find a duel here. They are gonna be able to get a really nice ulti off, but I'm not sure that's gonna be enough damage there. You have the Eclipse. Loda's able to take down one. Maybe gonna be able to find another. Not quite on the mark with the duel there. The Crush is gonna be able to keep one away. Oh man, the Lotus are coming in at the perfect time. Baby Knight is gonna be controlling this one, but they might still be able to do enough damage. The triple kill with one laser right there from Baby Knight. Holy crap, Liv, get the hell out of there. This is not where you want to be. Loda also in some trouble. The Savage Roar is going to be able to chase him down and might be able to find the kill.
Noya.
He has the amp damage. Oh, they've got him. Tinker right on top of him. Liv, it was a good time while you were there, but you are freaking gone, man. And, well, is he? All right, yeah. One last hit. 1,000 gold for Noya. Cloud9 respond in a big way.
And they kited that fight so well. That ultimate as well really helped split up the fight from Rise. There haven't been too many this game, but during the BKB for Loda, he plops it on down, gets a little bit of a stun action happening, and Loda actually got forced in like towards them too. So he was still coming at them with the Eclipse, but it helped to push back that Kunkka and the Shadow Demon and keep them back. And man, Ace played that fight so well as well. That was terrifying for him. There were points in that fight where I thought he was just going to stop and try and man up before he died, but he just kept kiting his way around. He's so fast, this hero. And well, as you said, I mean, the shot from Baby Knight, a god tier laser.
I mean, it's a pretty good item, pretty good build, and I'm thinking about how well that last one went for him. Do you think it might be time to think about like the level 25 plus laser, or is it the spell light skill for you when that eventually comes around? I guess it doesn't matter that much. Like, if they don't respond Alliance here, they might just end up losing the game. Aegis is going their direction. Yeah,
and they will give it to Ace. Not too surprising, I suppose. They have a lot of great options too. That if Ace goes down with this Aegis, even if he's near the base, they have so many ways to just hop in and help him out as he respawns. I mean, between Warlock, Bat Rider, Starladder, just the reach and the overall AOE stuns and whatnot are very scary for Alliance.
Man.
Now we just need Warlock ulti and probably some Bear cooldowns.
Do you think that there needs to be another Lotus Orb on Alliance, like Handskin building into that next? I feel like it did so much value for them in that last fight in terms of helping to keep alive and control the Tinker, at least for a little while.
Yeah, they certainly need something against this Tinker. I'm not sure what it is, though.
Yeah. I guess that's the fear as you go into this late of the game and the hero becomes a whole new beast. Tonight. I mean, we were kind of wondering how well he was going to deal with it, but big smoke by Alliance now.
Oh, and there's the Octarine Core Steering Chain, XD.
Oh, as to Joe, there's the duel going their way. Rise does have his ulti if they wanted to use it at this point. It would be setting up for a big one, hit absolutely onto everybody, but I don't know if they want to take this fight without him. Rise left alone, he is going to probably be brought down here. Ace has already taken out EGM though, and now looking for a bit more. Handskin is under control. Ace running back in towards him. There's the Sheepstick. They find the kill, so they trade off the Warlock and the Bat Rider for the Kunkka and the Shadow Demon. I don't want more, at least to scout them.
Well, nice, is so fast. Who's holding the gem for? Is it?
Oh, they don't have they're on top of him. The boosted tower level 2 coming in for Baby Knight, but he's been up more than he can chew. They have the blade down now, chasing him down. Baby Knight getting ran down, is gonna fall. Double for Limp and trying to find Ace, but I mean, this is a pretty fast guy. Is he gonna be fast enough though? Savage Roar trying to run away, True Form as well, and it does look like he is eventually going to be brought down. That is the Aegis. See how it ends up working for him, but
I think he might be dead. I don't know.
He's super dead.
Wow.
Right. I mean,
they got greedy.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought C9 were going to be so happy with that fight because it looked pretty bad. Like, Rise went down, he had no buyback, so they really needed a couple kills of their own just to make sure Alliance wouldn't full 5-man push into them without the Warlock up, and then they got them, but I mean, I can understand the greed and that desire to chase even Shadow Bladed Starladder. They had no detection on those heroes that were remaining for Alliance. But unable to grab it in that quick burst, jeez.
Yeah, and I think just the idea, like the Boots of Travel level 2, everything coalesced into this thought for Cloud9 where they could take that fight, but proving that, you know, you fight that close and it's just going to end up coming back to bite you in the butt. So now we're looking at a spot where Alliance are ahead, almost 10,000 net worth. This game has been very back and forth, and only a couple of big fights coming out. I guess at this stage, would you give the edge still to Alliance at this point?
Yeah, I think Limp is just terrifying right now.
Okay.
Talk about the desire to kind of skip BKBs, really hurting them. Hestejo, like at this point, they didn't really need them, right? Because talk about the saves that were there and everything, but Hestejo needs BKB at this point, and he'll play it nicely done.
Got him. This is a good one. Oh, immediately taken off again. EGM with the big plays. Actually, no, excuse me. It was the Purge coming in from the Legion commander that kept him alive. Limp goes back in, connects onto several with the chains. Baby Knight's still going to be controlled. Loda, BKB will be running out now, but they haven't been able to find it. Wicked Spear, Baby Knight is gone. Noya also in trouble, and Alliance thundering down mid lane might potentially just be able to finish this one off here. No more buybacks online. Hestejo's going down. A double for Jonas. I think the call is going to come for those tier 4 towers as Alliance are going to take game number 1 of this one, I believe.
Yeah, man, that's so rough.
Plays.
Yeah, you feel like you finally did something against this Limp guy. You get this blink overstep, managed to get the lasso off, and then just purged. Almost immediately. Very well played from Alliance. Just had to find that last little moment to close it out, but the high ground defense, it worked out. It was mostly just that ratting and catching up the Tinker a couple